Так. Но я обнаружила, что я неправильно установила язык в игре при установке. Я ее переустановила. Сейчас с русским интерфейсом. Играть я буду убийцей. Я обычно беру вора и модифицирую его.
Better luck next time.
You're not trying to escape, are you?
You're not trying to escape, are you?
Nice try.
Glory is mine.
Nice try.
Так, но я всегда беру сначала друга животных.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rabble panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
So, it wasn't a dream after all. Not a very chatty fellow, are you? An animal sty. Freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin.
Fresh meat. Nice. Plump. Banded like a chicken's leg, too.
Тыкаю пальцем в жирное овечье пузо и замечаю, что на тебе будет куда больше мяса, чем на мне.
That may be so, but look at the flies. Ban wisdom. Flies know when a creature will die. And it's around your head they're buzzing, not mine.
With two shakes of her stumpy tail, the sheep turns away from you to peruse her hay-filled manger.
Приказ коменданта стражи. Важно! Мне стало известно в очередной раз, что кое-кто пренебрег мерами безопасности грузового трюма, ставя ящики на нажимные плиты. Это недопустимо! Смысл этих мер в том, чтобы гарантировать присутствие по меньшей мере 3 магистров при смене караула. При следующем нарушении как минимум один магистр отправится за борт. Кому жить надоело, ставьте ящики и дальше. Магистр Сивин. О! Наконец-то.
Come here. Hey! Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in?
Внимательно его осматриваю. Как ты вообще оказался в клетке?
Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here.
И какая в этом выгода конкретно для меня?
Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think.
Ладно, и что я должна сделать?
A gentlewoman among jesters, you are. Give that lever a pull, and I guarantee we'll both get something out of the deal.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring magister mumbles himself awake. One bloodshot eye opens, and then another.
Is my shift over? Are you here to relieve me? Wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face.
Ха-ха. Один из стражников упал за борт. Ты должен это увидеть.
Those idiots can't even walk straight without mucking it up. Was it Rick's? I bet it was Rick's. Can't just leave the prisoner alone, though. I heard he might be the one causing trouble upstairs.
Поигрываю мускулами. Я присмотрю за пленником. Со мной шутки шутить он не рискнет.
If it's all the same, I think it's best he comes with me. Some offence intended. You hear that, Emoire? We're taking a walk. Come on. And keep your hands where I can see them. Hurry it up, sorcerer. We haven't got all day.
No. No, you most certainly don't. I'm sorry, the dead magister.
So much
Somebody
for
will have to
peaceful
take the
stroll.
blame for this, and it won't be me.
your dirty little paws out of my hair.
Сдалось мне твое сено. Мы долго считали истока благом для нашего общества. Однако достаточно взглянуть на правление короля Истока, чтобы понять, каким несчастьем может привести такая магия. Когда-нибудь другой орден должен будет пойти по стопам истокоборцев. Колдунов можно и нужно заставить замолчать. Новая модель ошейников Истока, предложенная Вредеманом, оказалась весьма эффективной.
You're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself.
Король Истока утверждает, что ни одна область магии не должна быть запретной. Даже та, что блокирует или вовсе лишает кого-то Истока. Его безумие – подарок судьбы. Это приглашение погрузиться в манипуляции с той сущностью, что мы некогда полагали незаглушимой. Король снабжает нас самыми разными подопытными. Далее в тексте описываются заклинания и материалы, необходимые для заглушения Истока. Некоторые предметы обведены черными чернилами и подписаны. Шлем, ошейник, маска.
There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Я видела долгий черный сон на корабле, плывущем по реке мертвецов. Но мы же не умерли, правда?
No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course, but luckily for us both, we're merely sailing the plain old sea.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
Слушай, там в трюме случилось небольшое происшествие. Пленник мертв.
Is he? Oh well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
Я дергаю ошейник, но безрезультатно. Нафига ты вообще его на меня нацепила?
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
Ты явно меня обманываешь. Не буду.
Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
Призывать Исток на корабле, плывущем по морю, когда могут припереться из чадия пустоты, оно мне надо? Я не буду этого делать.
My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Good gods. There's been a murder here.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
А что случилось?
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
А ты знал убитого?
It's a small ship. His name was Finn. Oddball. Looked to me like he saw something he wished he hadn't before he came here. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Наверх меня не пускают. Так.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Почему ты подпускаешь меня так близко к месту преступления? Я же могу оказаться убийцей. Откуда тебе знать?
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Нет, этим искусством я еще не вполне овладела.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Ты правда думаешь, что я стану помогать магистру? Тому, кто держит меня под замком?
Think about it. It's one of you who got killed, not one of us. We want to find who did it and bring them to justice. Who's your real enemy here? You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Так, а одежку-то поменяли. Я помню, раньше по-другому немного выглядела. И тут униформа немного по-другому выглядит. Но похоже. Вот спрашивается, как лучник может носить такой капюшон, а?
It seems as though there's a pattern in the blood flow. That can't be natural.
Why won't you sing?
That's enough.
I'm not suited for this. It's sea cow, not sea sheep.
Какая у тебя прекрасная шерсть. Можно я нарву немного?
Haven't got any shears, have you? People these days.
Listen.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard.
That right. I always knew you'd turn out throat in nest.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
Что ты делаешь?
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
И чью судьбу ты тут решаешь?
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
Если ты умеешь определять судьбу по костям, может, ты умеешь считать будущее по коровьим кишкам?
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
Почему бы и нет?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, you lay awake thinking of someone back home. A very special someone. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together.
Офигеть. Но это действительно так.
Of course it is. The truth's right there, skin deep. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than more appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
And if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul. I strongly suspect you know all about it.
More appetizing things coming out of big sushi pigs.
Well, perhaps you're absolutely
There's nothing
right.
else you can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
В этой книге нет текста. Лишь изображения драконов заполняют страницы. Пусть художнику не достает таланта, зато энтузиазма не занимать.
Murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that
О,
has the Magisters
еще один нож.
more concerned than more appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul. I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
I reassure you and you shut up.
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this trampy fan.
How dare you classify this slop
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
stricken pigs?
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Непонятно почему, но мне инстинктивно хочется отдать Ифану честь. Но я сдерживаюсь.
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Magisters more concerned than
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
Ифан, почему магистры подозревают тебя в убийстве?
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
Как ты ухитрился угодить в лапы своего же подчиненного?
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
Меня волнует это убийство. Ты убил его или нет?
No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
Ифан, а ты знаешь что-нибудь про этот форт Радость, в который мы направляемся?
The Joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
Я не слишком жажду заводить такое знакомство.
Not eager to bow before the great Bishop Alexander, son of the divine himself. My sentiments exactly. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You! What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
Эри.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall. A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, Ghetto. You hear that?
А что, собственно, мы должны услышать?
The ship, of course.
Да ладно. Слушай, что тебе известно об убийстве, которое произошло на корабле?
His eyes snap open. He looks at you and frowns.
Внезапно его глаза распахиваются. Он смотрит на меня и хмурится.
Murder? Ah, that's what they were going on and on about. I wouldn't know anything about it. I kill a man. He knows who done it. His daddy knows who done it. And the mayor knows who done it too.
His eyes flutter shut, and he assumes his position of repose once more.
Whether they catch me is another matter, but I ain't one to hide my accomplishments.
Я замолкаю, прислушиваясь к звукам, которые издает корабль.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
Море бушует, судя по шуму волн, как будто пытается перевернуть корабль.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger, it's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
Anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate.
Еще бы у меня штаны были.
That's all you hear, though. Listen close.
Закрываю глаза и пытаюсь отвлечься от всех окружающих звуков.
There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There,
You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, kiddo. Good news.
Да, я слышала. И что же это такое?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Почему ты так рвешься в форт Радость? Я об этом месте ничего хорошего не слышала.
No indeed, kiddo. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all, thank you kindly, kiddo.
Молчу, но на прощание смериваю его взглядом. Возможно, оказавшись в форте Радость, я захочу вновь его отыскать.
You one of them? A divine order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Мне любопытно, что будет дальше.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Да, я умею готовить.
Ah, music to my beleaguered stomach. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Я тыкаю пальцем в прореху на своей тюремной робе. Зато по лету мне не бывает жарко.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
Ну, я немного разбираюсь в этом.
The very basics, then. I suppose that's a start. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can cook and groom, but you have the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit. Still, beggars can't be choosers. So without further ado, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave.
Слушай, ты за кого меня вообще принимаешь?
My slave, of course. Oh, but I see. Yes, I suppose it must take some time for the full extent of this honor to sink in. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duties once we reach Fort Joy.
Не, фигею с этого ящера.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Все равно этот корабль потонет.
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're the cat.
Sorcerer! Blood? No! Go! Oof.
One of
Name?
Эри.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy, we're trying to catch a killer here.
You think me mad?
Mad?
Oh, there you are, wife. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly, deathly allergical.
Подыгрываю с улыбкой, беру ее за руку. Дети, вы, должно быть, ошиблись.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Ну, в общем, правильно. Пожимаю ей руку. Лоси, верно?
You presume right.
Тебе известно что-нибудь об убийстве, которое произошло на корабле?
Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Может, тебе стоит осмотреться вместе с нами? Мы сможем прикрыть друг другу спину.
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
They're picking us off one by one.
You're a human, like me. That means we're friends already. My mum told me not to make friends with lizards and elves and dwarves and stuff. But I think they're okay.
Wow! You look cool. I like your hair. I like your eyes. I like your colour. I have one too.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better though. Listen. La 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 la.
Till overboiling a bit of cabbage becomes a crime.
Так, вот это, по-моему, пацан. А это кто? Девочка или нет?
It was one of them. I know it.
Это точно
You
девчонка.
put a
Это...
knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like
Наверное,
cattle to them.
девчонка все-таки.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Фейн, он интересен, но я не могу его лечить. А качать некромантию я не хочу.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
А ты кто?
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough. It is pleasurable to meet you.
Что конкретно ты ищешь? В этом мире имеется великое множество знаний.
Is there? Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Ну, последние годы идет война с чадями пустоты по всему Ревелону.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Я часто задумывалась о природе богов, но у меня нет достоверных ответов.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Ну, не мешай так не мешай. Прощай.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
Ну, я бывала в переделках и похуже.
Trust me, with Bishop Alexander in charge, things will get a lot better from here on out. He's God-walking, you know. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot her to kill.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
Слушай, что ты имела в виду, когда говорила? Здесь есть и другие, чья жизнь должна закончиться.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
Так, можно взять щит, да, но я всегда хожу с двумя ножами. Тут одинаковые тут. Народ, валим отсюда, валим! Эй!
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, greyish-black clouds swirl through them.
Встряхиваю ее за плечо.
No. Not the final dark. Not yet.
Успокойся, если получится, я вытащу тебя отсюда.
It's no use. Your words do not seem to reach her.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes fluttering as if in a nightmare. A low whine escapes his lips.
Встряхиваю его и пытаюсь разбудить.
His eyes flicker open, but he doesn't register your presence at all.
Lucien. Lucien.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again. No matter how much you shake him now, he cannot be roused. The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead.
Прижимаю ухо к его груди и проверяю, бьется ли сердце.
You hear a faint thud, thud, thud. He's alive, but only just.
Oh! What? What happened? Must have been the turnips.
Хватаю стоящую рядом кружку и плескаю ему в лицо.
Water? Wine, for goodness sake! Oh!
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into unconsciousness.
О! Часть меча. Часть меча 1 и 2. Я даже не знаю. Все-таки это меч. Да, все-таки это меч. А мне нужны ножи. Фейн свалил. Дети свалили. Гном тоже свалил. Так, ну тут, по-моему, уже ничего стоящего нету. Да, нету там ничего стоящего. Ах, да. У меня же есть яд. Вроде бы. Вот он. Так. Ядик, 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 иди сюда. Давай. И получили мы отравленный нож.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters.
The hound paws desperately at its snout. It winces as it draws blood from its wet black nose and continues scratching.
Эй! Убирайся отсюда, корабль скоро потонет.
The dog notices you for the first time and snarls, the hairs on its back prickling as it lowers itself into a lunge. It sneezes suddenly and paws at its nose once more.
Can't smell. Can't breathe. Too much sauce. Too much. Please, make it stop.
Слушай, это не я все это устроила. Если бы я могла, я бы положила этому конец.
The dog whines and continues pawing at its nose.
О, сундук. Штанишки. Ну-ка, ты объединишься или нет? Чисто теоретически. Нет. Нет так нет. Нет так нет.
Damn, that doesn't look well. Onwards and upwards.
У меня отмычек нету, чтобы вскрывать.
Gods! By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
Указываю на следы разрушений вокруг. Что здесь творится? Что ты видел?
Like you don't know? Mutiny. Did that witch fix your collar too?
Слушай, какой нахрен бунт? Эта женщина нас едва не прикончила.
Go on then. Find a place to hide and stay there.
Еще один обломок меча. О, это двуручный. Чернила размазаны. И записи дневника сложно прочитать. Впрочем, часть последней записи нам разобрать удается. И где она? Ну зачем мне стол атаковать, а? Давай. Милая Стефен, я пишу это письмо, и наш корабль еще совсем недалеко от острова. Но когда сова принесет тебе его, мы будем уже вне пути. У них какие-то призывные совы разносят почту в войсках. Вняв твоему совету, я подчинился приказам Александра. Но я часто думаю о Люциане. Смирился бы Божественный с тем, что мы делаем. Благословил бы тех, кто отбирает детей у матерей. Неужели? Неужели это единственный способ? Мне холодно. Холодно тело и душе. И я уверен только в одном. Твои руки согреют меня, когда мы встретимся снова. С любовью, Рикс. Я это возьму. Это у нас что? В этом письме изложено указание по перевозке колдунов в некое место под названием Радость. Чья-то злая рука перечеркнула его черной линией с верхнего левого угла в нижний правый. Что? Что с нами будет? А, это Рикс этот. Какое нафиг укрытие? Надо валить с корабля. Сколь бы ни были доблестные стокоборцы, никто из них не мог предвидеть, что культ непорочных воскресит короля брака. И короля брака в конце Divinity 2 выпускает главный герой. Да, Сандалор говорит, что мы его еще сможем контролировать, но, видимо, тут уже никак. Мы своей жизнью обязаны тем двум славным членам Ордена, что сражались, дабы король Брак не ушел от справедливого возмездия. Король Истока мертв, однако его изваяния все еще повсюду встречаются, в наших краях. Жуткое, но необходимое напоминание об эпохе жестокости, алчности и высокомерия. Правление тирана Брака продолжилось долгие десятилетия. Его жадность до власти до истока побудила короля создать кошмарные, невиданные прежде машины и заклинания. Живых он наказывал смертью, а мертвых – не жизнью. Многие пытались дать ему отпор – волшебники, философы, ученые. Но в конце концов поплатиться за грехи Брака заставил орден истокоборцев. Когда-то короли Истока творили великие совершения по всей стране, и на заре своего правления так поступал и Брак, пребывая на своем родном острове. Но со временем, как это часто бывает в мире, Исток развратил его. Столь велики были его алчность и страх, что он приковал к себе душевными узами свою сестру Кассандру. Завершив ритуал, Брак обратил ее в нежить, сделав бессмертным личем, дабы самому жить, как и она, вечно. Я никуда не спешу, потому что тут скрипт. Пока я не подойду к лодке, можно спокойно бродить.
God damn
quick.
Нафига мне было? Ну, пусть будет. О, лук. Но мне лук не нужен. Так. Мерда. Бочки с туманом смерти заперты в хранилище. Вам с Риксом нужно держаться от них подальше. Если внизу кто-то начнет глупить, добром это не кончится. Капитан Келвин.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid! No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
Потому что я видела в этой игре разумную нежить, которая не кидается. Твоя манера держать книгу. Она мне кого-то напоминает.
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to.
Конечно, ты эльф. Это тот самый эльф, который читал книгу.
Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
Ну да, вполне разумно, киваю.
Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving a fellow to his business. I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die a rather terrible death, so...
The skeleton shrugs casually and returns to his book.
Так. Я вот помню, я как-то не подумала, что он нежить. Вот, я не подумала, что он нежить, и полечила его лечением. Ох, он на меня орал. Да блин. Кстати, поскольку остров, на котором расположен форт Радость, населен нежитью, советую ядом не увлекаться. Потому что вы...
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You don't recognize the symbol, but it's clearly warning you away.
Вы намажете все оружие ядом, а оно будет лечить нежить. Я вот себе один кинжальчик ядом намазала, но это один кинжальчик.
You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb. It doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Так, вот здесь надо быть осторожнее. Вот, видите вот это? Это все туман смерти. Если ты не нежить, то ты заходишь в этот туман и сразу же помираешь. А на нежить он не действует. Чё, они убрали оружие отсюда? Вот раньше оружие на стойках висело. Ну, убрали так убрали. Так, один готов. Я даже не знаю, ходить туда, не ходить. Так, все, на этом я с вами заканчиваю.